All right, hello. Me. I'm running out of things to do.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday, Monday, whatever.
Ta-da!
She has a finished ranunculus.
Yes, I know it looks unfinished, but it's supposed to be cropped, or like that's an option. So, hi. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
Are we ever gonna fill that hole? We are gonna fill that hole.
We are going to fill out.
Okay.
I
didn't know if
worked.
that was like an aesthetic choice or something.
No, I worked. I worked on the encore wall and like.
Oh, that's right.
The pretty.
That was
wall.
important.
Yeah.
That was important. Okay. Hi. I'm staying up so I can show this off for a second. I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in very overcast and rainy and probably going to be yucky today, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
There's a really big plant with big leaves out there.
Yes.
I just noticed that. I walked past it and didn't see it.
It's on top of the new bar thingy.
What?
I don't.
We'll find out later. Okay, so this is my finished ranunculus. I started this, I want to say, like a week and a half ago, like Thursday or Friday, not last week, but the week before.
Yeah.
And it's Tuesday, and I finished it actually on Sunday. So, but I want to show it off. So this is the ranunculus. It's a wonderful pattern. You all should try it.
Did you block it?
Not yet.
It looks fine.
Yeah, I may or may not block it. We'll see. I probably will just to see if I can. I mean, I don't want to stretch it too much, right? But I made a conscious choice to do the short sleeves, which involve just binding off and binding back on again, not even putting things in a holder. So I can show you, like, so they roll a little because there's no ribbing or anything. And I followed the instructions for the cropped length. And we were joking before this that I said, but it's okay. I'm wearing a t-shirt underneath. This is the layered look. I mean, I think a t-shirt maybe a little shorter would be really give it the cute layered look rather than the functional layered look. What were you saying?
I was like, it's okay. I'm wearing a t-shirt, so I'm not naked, but I feel naked, but I'm not. But
I had
it's
little,
okay.
I had this little cami under it yesterday, but that was a little tight down here and it felt weird. So, but that's the only way that I can wear a cropped top is if I have a layer underneath because my pants stop here. And so when they're pulled up with a belt, they're like right where this comes down to. So, woo, I'd be flashing everyone right now if I wasn't wearing a t-shirt. This would be wonderful for like a layered look in the winter with like a long sleeve shirt underneath it. I just wanted to see what would happen if I threw it on over my Sun Dragon shirt. That's all I did.
It would look cute with like one of those long sleeve, the tight athletic long sleeve type shirts where,
Or like someone mentioned a collared shirt under it.
A collared shirt would be really
That would be super. Like if I was still teaching, that's what I would do to wear it. There's this, it's dark enough that it's hard to see probably. I can try to work on that in post editing. But there's all this lace work up top, this fun pattern stuff to it up top, which it looks really dark on camera right now. But this was done on a size 10 needle, so it just flew. It was Joji Long Alba on a size 10 needle. I sewed the ends in this morning just so there weren't ends completely hanging and maybe getting caught when I sat on it in the car, But I might block it. I don't know if it needs blocking necessarily.
I don't think it does.
I mean, it might lay a little better if it did. The bottom might hang a little better. But it might grow too much. It's hard to say. I will say that the Joji Long Alba is very soft, but when I was wearing it with the cami yesterday, it was a little like I could feel it on my skin because there's some wool blends and things that no matter how soft they are, it will irritate your skin a little bit. So that's why a layered look for this is perfect, which means, you get to see my t-shirt.
If you wanted it to feel comfortable on your skin, I would pick like a merino, a straight up
merino, a cotton, for summer, which I looked through all the cottons and cotton blends that we have and said, I'm making things out of all of these. I need to make it out of something else.
My Oxley feels just fine on my skin.
Of course it does. It's got yak in it. Oh, what is going on with our...
Oh.
It's pointing towards the sky. I don't think it was like, hello, that was our microphone. So I'm sure it still was picking us up, but I'm just turning it a little more towards us. I didn't know it could do that.
I didn't.
I've never played with that much to know it can angle like this. Anyway, you got to pick her up like this. That shows what era I grew up in. All right, so no, but I'm super excited about this, and this the I didn't make mine out of Oxley. She made hers out of Oxley, and it's pretty. This is also pretty. The Jody Long. I'm gonna go grab a label
with the Ranunculus. It is difficult to find a yarn it doesn't look pretty in.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I had to make one.
One of our knitters came with one, and she was like, it was cheap yarn. And it looks fantastic. It looks
wonderful. She's one of the inspirations. Shout out to Astrid. She's one of the inspirations for me making one. And I don't know how much of that you could hear because it wasn't by the mic. But because even if you make it out of a cheap old yarn, it looks pretty. So the Jody Long Alba, this is how much I had left of my second skein. Only 2 of these to make what I made. If you don't want it cropped, you will probably need all of the second skein. I also had started this from a ball of yarn I was making another sweater out of. And there's a strip like this long and this wide of yarn that I hadn't used yet. So there's more than this left over. This has, okay, so the blend on this is wool, alpaca, and viscose. And I think it's the straight up wool that's a little, my skin is a little, it's not itchy per se, but my skin, like having it right against my skin. Some of the
alpaca. I mean, the blend is going to make for a little bit less soft.
It just irritated my skin a little. Not enough that I would never wear this, but I'm planning on wearing this layered because I made it short.
Then I don't feel naked.
So, I still do a little, but yeah. Because it also has such, I followed the instructions, and I will finish the sentence eventually. I followed the instructions for the 44-inch bust, which I'm about a 43, 44. And so it's got look at this, lots of positive ease, we say. That's the space around yourself, the plus, your measurements plus positive. It's designed to have a lot of positive ease. You can do some bust darts if you want to. There's all kinds of modifications on this pattern, but you don't have to do them. But it is size inclusive, which is fantastic. It's meant to be roomy. It's meant to not be form fitting, which for some people is a plus. And
I love the extra.
Well, and you've got this. Her skirts start right there, so like having the cropped works because you have something filling that space.
I tend to crop mine even more because
even this would be way below your skirts.
That comes further down. Yeah. So
I have 33 grams left of this. There's a really good chance with the amount of yarn that I hadn't frogged for my other project, I would be close to 50 grams, only like a ball and a half of this, which means if you want to do long sleeves or a longer torso, 2 skeins should still be enough of this Alba. And the Alba is 382 yards. Excuse me. 382 yards. So close to 400. Like you would only need 2 skeins of a fingering weight, definitely, to do this. And then a lace weight, you might only need 1 skein. Didn't you make yours out of 1 skein?
My lace weight, I made longer sleeves.
It was this silk that we don't, if we have in the shop, it's in really random colors in the sale.
800 and something yards. And
you did the short sleeve and
I did longer sleeves, and I had yarn left over. Like, so
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking for my water. I'm gonna try to hydrate today. What? I had all my coffee before coming in, but so it's made. The Alba is, I think, classified as a DK, but the yardage and the feel of it really is kind of more of a sport weight. It can be work for sport weight patterns, and so my words. The word pattern should not be hard to find, but hey. Roll with me. It's my Monday.
It's Monday.
I haven't had a day off in at the end of this week. It'll be 2 weeks. So just bear with me. And people will say, but you weren't at the shop on Sunday and Monday, but Sunday we were knitting online with people for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Which was wonderful, but not a day off for me then. And yesterday I'm always busy with shop stuff on Mondays. So this is my Monday for the shop, but no, that doesn't make sense.
The past couple of whiles, well, since the pandemic started, we haven't had much opportunity on Tuesday. You used to publish the newsletter on Tuesday.
I used to sit here while the shop was open and write the newsletter. And that's not how life functions anymore.
No, we've been just busy enough that that Tuesday wouldn't work anymore.
Enough of a trickle of people, which we appreciate.
Yes.
So even before that, it was stuff from over the weekend, filling orders, getting listings up online, some of which we still have to do, all that kind of stuff. So words anyway, but I'm gonna try to hydrate. I had my coffee this morning before coming in. This would be wonderful. This would be wonderful in this, or a lighter weight if you wanted. It still would be wonderful in a heavier weight. It's okay. It's 66 degrees outside. It is rainy, so it's not cold and clammy, but it is damp. But wearing a t-shirt with this over it, I do not feel hot. That's kind of fun because it's knit on a size 10 needle. So this is a really open weave. Even like the lace work's going to be open no matter what, but even down here, it's really loose and drapey and wonderful. And you can go up to a worsted weight on this. And it won't be as open. It'll be a denser feel, but it will still be nice. So one of these out of Cumulus would be gorgeous, which is our worsted weight cotton. Yeah. So it would breathe, but it would have a tighter weave to it on the size 10 needle. Because that's even though Cumulus is a worsted weight cotton, super squishy, most of the projects I've seen written for it or using it use a size 10 needle. So I think it would be absolutely gorgeous. And that would be something that could be all seasonal rather than if you're going to make it out of a worsted weight, like alpaca wool blend or something, that would more be for warmer temperatures or for cooler temperatures when you want to be warmer. That's what I'm going for. Okay. Yeah. So this is my big accomplishment. Yay. And I might have neglected a few other projects to get this done, but I did knit. Okay, I have other things to show y'all today. I always like to go over to Liz, so I don't neglect Liz though. So what's going on with you for this weekend or what?
This weekend, starting on Sunday during our sit and stitch, I figured it was time to get back to the kaleidoscope of Papillons that are Christmas presents.
You sound so upset about that.
Well,
or bummed, or I don't know.
I have a problem with procrastinating.
No knitter ever
do a lot of procrastinating, and
I have no idea what you're talking about. That word's not in my vocabulary.
No.
Says the person who starts her Christmas presents at Thanksgiving time. Yes.
If I started my presents, and I in my head, I know that if I started them at Thanksgiving, I'm doing 4 Papillons and then a bunch of hats.
Oh my gosh. No, that's not what I will be doing.
I would have serious issues. But because there's a deadline on these and my brain goes, you have to get them done. The other part of my brain's like,
but they're not fun. I have time. They are fun, but
they're fun and I like them. And they're Papillons, but they're deadline knitting and they're for somebody else.
Anything with a deadline is going to be not quite as much fun.
Yeah. So,
it's, unless you just don't think about the deadline. But
I have to kind of think about
But that goes with what you're wearing.
This one.
Look, it goes with what she's wearing.
Is my sister's. And if she's watching, she'll get a sneak peek.
But she is watching now.
She started kind of watching us on Tuesdays. So
she finds us mildly amusing. No, those aren't her words. I won't put words in her mouth. But then there's expectations, Liz. We have to keep being mildly amusing.
I know. She in fact is the reason we're the Liz and Rebecca show. She came to visit.
Yes, she named us that.
She came to visit and spent an hour in the shop. I was like, "Ooh, you got to come hang out at the shop with me." And she was
I don't remember what we did that day.
It was just
but there was something
talking about, what had happened while I was gone. And Mary was like, okay, it's the Liz and Rebecca show. And
and stars were born or something. Yeah. I don't know.
So this one's hers.
An idea was planted.
It's going to all be
that's really
blues
pretty.
And blues.
Oh, the contrast is water?
The contrast is water.
Oh, cool.
And
which is like this crimped alpaca, which is really fun.
So there's a little fuzzy in there, and so far I have Pebble Beach, which is the lighter, so there's blue tinges to it, and
Blue
then
tinges to the
denim.
gray.
So that's Mary's.
It goes with what she's wearing.
It does. And then Kaya's is this one, and her contrast is her birthday month. So all of this, and I paired it with mohair to kind of tone it down because she doesn't like bright.
But that's like all we had. No.
yeah. But it was her birthday month, so it's starting off with there's some Dawson and it's the blue that's
blue it's like Blue Lagoon or
Blue Lagoon, yeah, in there
something like that.
And then it'll go
it's
down.
Our new color of fiber, new-ish color of fiber space.
Lorna's the Lorna's laces Christmas at Downton.
Oh, is that
her
gonna be
pop color?
Oh,
so
which is great because Lorna's Laces isn't making yarn anymore. We appreciate her decision. We're just sad we can't get it in again.
This one's my mommy's, and
that's extra fuzzy.
It's extra fuzzy because there's water in the gray, and
crimped alpaca.
My mom's favorite colors are black, off black, and her spring color is olive drab.
Oh, olive drab. I was like,
so it's going to go. The black is the contrast through the whole thing, and then so there's grays, and then it'll get darker and greener, and
it's painting with yarn. I love it.
Painting with yarn, and I'm using the Splash, which is it's cotton with the little bubbles, but they're grays, so it just looks funky in the there.
I like it.
It looks cool.
I like it.
And then I've gotten all of these to right around row 9.
Oh, there's more.
And then this one, I realized Emily's is the only one that's mostly fingering weight. All the rest of them
are heavier.
Yeah, like I'm using Alba for the contrast.
Are you using? Oh, that's the same yarn as here, but a different color.
This one's kind of.
Are they all on the same needle?
Yes, they're all size 9.
Cool.
So this one's Nini's because this is August in Daydream Dyeworks.
And that's when she was born?
Yep. Okay. She's August baby. So, and she likes bright. So there's going to be brighter blues.
There's no toning down with mohair in that one.
No. No. I did show her just to make sure I got the right, the right palette. And she was like, ooh, I was like, I'm going to be done with the hot pink. And she was like, no. So it's going to keep going through there. So
that's Spice Plum.
It's the Spice Plum, so it's not hot pink, it's
not like that hot pink.
No, but it is a brighter pink, and it is almost the exact same pink as in the August.
That's cool.
So it works well. And then there's peach Bellini in there. It's gonna be
peach Bellini in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gonna be so pretty. Yeah. Awesome. Speaking of peach Bellini, are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. No, that was a good transition. That's the only reason. It's not. She doesn't have to be done. But that can take me to. Hang on, I got too many things in here. That can take me to my Stonecatcher.
Oh yeah.
Because that's all I had this morning. Because I was so focused on my cable knitting, which I will also show you all in a second. My Stonecatcher. Let's show you how far I've made it. On this, look, I think this is more than last time I showed y'all. I think
it is, because the last time you were in the mosaic color work for on the side in between the two colors.
Huh? Oh, I'm following. I'm
catching up. You were in
this little part in here.
In that little part, yeah.
I'm halfway through the first. Well, I'm almost halfway through the lace on with the sea glass. This is the peach Bellini. That's the transition right there. So I've got my center triangle that we can't see this because the stitch holder wants to make it curl, but I've got my lace with color 1, my transition mosaic. It's not color 1. It's like my color 3. Transition to color 2, but it's my second solid color on the edge there. That was my morning meditation this morning. I would like to be much further along on this, but I finished a ranunculus. So excuse me, I'm just coffee this morning. And I drank my coffee too. I got jokes. Okay. What I will say is if we don't run out of it, I will list more kits that are just like mine because Emerald dyed us 4 skeins of the You Almost Unearthly thing right there. The dark and broody that goes so well with these. And then we sold 2 over the weekend, which is a good problem to have. But, you know, so I could list more kits like this. So I will try to get some kits up online and buy them while they're there because as soon as someone walks in and buys it off the shelf, or maybe I'll put like one in a package that we'll put over there. But once someone buys one, then they're gone and I have to take this down until Emerald can dye me more. It's a vicious cycle. So if you really love these colors, call the shop or see if I've listed it online and buy it. But it's going to be gorgeous. I am really, really happy with this. I can't wait to block it because her picture in the
huge.
listing looks so much bigger than what I'm making. Now, I did not test my gauge. I'm giving you this finger because it's a family-friendly show. I did not test my gauge. I just dove in with the needles it's written for, and that could be a reason that my shawl may not come out to be the same size as hers. And we had, shout out to Donna, we were talking with her over the weekend, and she said that her Papillons don't look like they're as big as ours. And she understood that, you know, Liz's are just made on bigger needles. But some of that's blocking we were talking about, and some of that could be gauge when knitting. And if you don't test your gauge, and the Papillon's another one of why bother testing your gauge, because it does all the bubbles and all the fun thing. But if yours is coming out smaller, it could be a tension when knitting thing. And if you, even after blocking, if you're like, this isn't as big as I wanted it, or as big as it looks on other people, in other pictures, next time, because for many people who make a Papillon, there is a next time. Go up a needle size or 2. Why not?
Well,
drapey fun shawls.
This week we had a gal in who she was like, okay, the pattern's written for, and it was a shawl, and she goes, okay, the pattern's written for this, but give me the next size up needle because I knit so tight.
She knows she knits tight.
Yeah, that
there you go.
It's just going to be easier.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check with Liz on this. Have I shown my Viking woman off since I made it a little further?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, I'm gonna show you all my Viking woman shawl because and it's a hot mess of tangles. But said no knitter ever. I am past.
Ooh.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I don't think she's seen it in person yet. Down here, so it's lace weight held doubled, or you can do it with fingering weight, and I am doing it with lace weight, and it's the most luscious lace weight ever. One of the few lace weights we have in the shop is Mayu lace. And it's cashmere and alpaca and silk. Oh my gosh, I think, right? Yeah, that sounds right. Anyway, so down here was 2 strands of the apricot or whatever, and up here is a strand of the blue and the orangey yellow, which is apricot and Mystery Lake, held together and marled. And then up here, I've got 2 strands of Mystery Lake doing the main knitting, and then 2 strands of the apricot is doing a little bit of Fair Isle work. So I'll show you the back. That's the back.
It looks so cool.
And keeping the tension on this where we're not going to lose the Fair Isle stitches is hard and probably not going to work perfectly. Like when I go to block this, especially if I aggressively block this, there will probably be some stitches that get pulled super tight. But I'm trying to leave it loose. And she says to like stagger the V's, and so every time a V row comes up, I am trying to place it in the V in the middle of the V's from the row the last time I came up, if that makes sense. There's 3 stitches in between the V's, so 1, 2, 3, 2 is the center. That's where I try to have the V of the next row. So here's how that is coming out.
That's way more math.
It's math, but it's not. It's just visually.
I know.
Anyway, so I even saw in people who are testing it, they're like, well, it's kind of puckering and doing things, and maybe I need a different needle. I think a lot of that's going to come out with blocking. So this one I will block. This one I might not. But very excited about that. I mean, not only is it like Viking strong, Viking women, good therapy for me right now, It also has the little, like, this looks like a dragon scale ridge along the side there. Look at that. It's gonna be so fun. So I'm excited about that. Oh, speaking of, this is by Kay Hopkins, the Viking woman shawl.
Mhm.
She's been doing an Instagram profile of some of her top selling patterns. And did I tell you? Guess what number 1 is?
You told me it's the one you sent your niece.
Yes, it's the Scottish Highlands shawl. So that's part of a combination with this one. But oh, that's the end of my needle. But not all 3 are like her most popular. The Scottish Highlands, that is a lot of garter with like occasional eyelets, and then all this lace work that is supposed to look like
it looks like windows on a cathedral.
On the ruins of a Scottish cathedral at the bottom, is her best-selling one. And I want to say it's a recent publication, so that it's her best-selling is pretty phenomenal. And I agree, it should be. And I want to start one for the shop soon, so we have a shop sample that we can show y'all. But this is part of the same Celtic women or Celtic shawl collection as the Scottish Highlands. So if you're fascinated by both of these, get the collection with the Irish shawl in it too, which is another one that, you know, if I didn't have a 6 million projects going, but I finished a ranunculus, so makes everything better.
There's so many projects in the queue right now that, you know,
there's so many things I want to do. And then I'm trying to get back to older projects. So an older project that I spent a lot of time yesterday knitting on. Yes, this is the Wellerman by Caitlin Hunter. And this is just absolutely fascinating. It's hard, like, you can't, this is gonna be so huge when it's done. It's like a little skirt right now. Little like
frill.
This, you start, you can see how far I've come in. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Oh my gosh.
You start on the very longest row, and it actually is the outside 2 edges, if you think about that, of a triangle shawl. So here's the center. This is 1/2 of the triangle that's going to come in. So this is actually this is so hard to demonstrate when you're halfway through. This is actually the top edge. If you think about the triangle, like the butterfly, like that, right? This is the top edge as it goes in. And so this part that is hanging off is going to be the side of the triangle. And then this is the other top edge, and this part down here is the other side of the triangle. So you're starting with this row, which is on the butterfly and on the Reina and all those. The bind off row is the down and up, right?
I'm
trying.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So
you're starting on that edge, that longest edge, what is usually your, yes, and then it is going in towards the center. And so on every right side row, you're decreasing on the edges and in the center. And on every wrong side row, you're only decreasing on the edges. And so, like, if I don't think I can hold this upright, but that in the center, that's the center point right there.
Oh, I see it.
This is the center. Ready, hang on. Yeah. Okay. Oh, maybe this has to be the cover photo for today.
That actually looks really cool.
Okay, so that's the center point. This is actually a great way to show this off. It's so heavy. It's going down my back right now, and it's heavy.
It's going to heat
This is going
up.
to be a wonderful winter like blanket.
Oh yeah.
So here's the center and the outside edges, and it's getting smaller as it goes in. I am through 3 of the charts, and the charts get bigger as you go. But I'm through 3 of the charts. It's just starting to have more of these little branches in there. It's supposed to look like branches. And there's cables all over it. And you hopefully all know me and cables. I love them. Even if a lot of the projects I have not been doing lately have cables. Don't have cables. Let me try that again. Even if I haven't been doing a lot of cables lately, I do love them. And this one fills my cable soul because there's a double cable in the center. There's cables that are running in on it. I really do like showing it off this way. This is pretty cool. Let me see if you can see even more of it if I do this. Yeah, it's going to be huge. And here's the cool thing about this is depending on the thickness of yarn and the needles, she has it written for a medium size and a large size, or a small and a medium, whatever. And it's totally dependent on, it's the same exact pattern. It's totally dependent upon the yarn thickness and the needles. Like, so it's written for a worsted weight and a sport weight. And I'm doing the worsted weight version, but I upped it even a little. I'm using Sugarbush Dawson, and Sugarbush is discontinued, and that makes me so sad. But Dawson is such a lovely, like,
It's
squishy,
so warm and squishy.
It's a light chunky or light bulky, basically. It's a little thick for a worsted weight, but this is going to be gorgeous. Making this out of like a cream color in, say, Barocco's Ultra Alpaca would be lovely. Maybe not have as much heaviness as this does. It's gonna take between 900 and 1,000 yards for the worsted weight version, and I want to say,
which for Barocco Ultra Alpaca is only like 5.
It's only like 5. It should only take me about 5 of these, which is smaller yardage, but the math still kind of works out. I'm on my 3rd skein of this already. Like, see what it's hanging off there. It doesn't even fit on the needles yet. The needles I'm using, it looks like squished on.
Like one of the graduation, I got my doctorate.
Yeah,
over the top of your.
Okay, but for the sport weight, I think it takes 700 plus yards. But it will come out smaller and a little more delicate. And it's just, if you like cables, this is fun. The trees in here, the lacy looking things in here are knit through the back loops, so they're twisted stitches, which gives them more definition. I have really been enjoying this, and
is it?
I took a break
just
from it
charted, or is it written as well?
That is a really good question. I'm only working off the charts. It might be written as well, but it's like 1,000,000 pages long if it is. I would have to go back and look at it and report on that. Maybe I'll try to put it in the comments because I'm not sure. I'm looking at the charts. I like charts, so I'm okay with that. But it's like you have to blow it up on the computer big time. So I haven't printed this pattern out because of that. I'm using it completely on the computer right now. It's just wonderful, and I'm so glad I got back to it for a few days. My hand was kind of hurting when I went to bed last night because I think the chunk of knitting I did Sunday, and then once I got all my busy work done on Monday, I did a chunk of knitting on this. But I'll keep you all updated because now that I'm back to it, I might just have to pound it out. We'll see.
It's gonna be the coziest. It's gonna be your fall winter 2021 coziness, because it'll be almost like a weighted blanket.
It's got a weighted blanket shawl. Yay! Yeah. But Caitlin Hunter, I've done a bunch of her sweaters at this point, or like started a bunch of her sweaters, and I was just excited to try this because of all the cables. The sweater I was gonna originally make with this yarn had one cable on the side, and it was gonna take me forever to get to it, so it was not in my happy place. So I'm back to my happy place. I'm using my ergonomic cable needle. This is the yoga cable needle. People are like, ooh, what? How cool. You can shape it any way you want. So my favorite shape is like the J hook of a cable, but then there's still extra length to it. So I kicked it off to the side like this. And I like having this shape because I know the kink here is where I take stitches off of the needle, and then the straight end is off of the original needle, and then I knit them off of this needle on the short end here. So making whatever shape you want with this cable needle, really, I think it's fun.
You've gone through several.
I went through a corkscrew on it. I went through making it just be the J hook.
Yeah.
This one is my favorite right now. It will probably always stay like this. But the Prim ergonomic ones, not only can you shape them, the yoga ones, they have the little hook tips, which is great for when you're stretching your stitches and moving them around, and they're hopefully going to stay on this until you want to knit them off. So I've been really, really happy with this. All right. And I didn't have this when I got back to this pattern. This guy was in another room in the house, and I didn't want to go find him. So I was trying to do cable needles. I was trying to do cable stitches without a cable needle, of popping them off and then flipping them around and trying not to drop them. It was taking longer. So I went and found my cable needle. And now I want to say when I started working on this last week, after not having worked on it for months, I've doubled the number of rows at least that I've done on it, which helps when they're getting smaller. But this thing starts at like over 400 stitches. So
it's like doing a papillon upside down.
I want to say, yeah, basically, I want to say that I'm down to 300 plus stitches now. I've lost at least 100 stitches in the rows that I've done. I looked at the charts and added it all up because, I mean, they're numbered, so I didn't really have to do too much math. There's over 130 rows in this. And when I did it for morning meditation yesterday, I was on row 30. So I still had 100 rows to go. The end of the charts I just did, I might have gotten closer to row 40. I don't think I'm at row 40 yet.
But that's less than 100 rows, and they're getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter.
And I can tell because yesterday it took me 25 minutes to get across a row. It was a cable row. Cable rows will take longer, but it's definitely not taking me quite that long anymore. All right. One last thing to show you from my projects, I believe. And then we can, then it will transition to other things we have here. So we had a visit. We had a visit from Emerald of Daydream Dyeworks on Friday. And I will just say, usually it takes about a couple weeks from placing an order to getting it. And because Emerald's got a lot of work to do. And every time we get an order, we place an order basically. And we still can't keep up with the demand because this is super small batch dyeing and it's gorgeous. But we also have those of you in the interwebs and YouTube land who love her stuff. And it's so popular with all the visitors in town. So we got a new order in from her on what she's losing stuff. I'm usually the one who does that, Liz. We got a new order in from her on Friday, and she had a new colorway that is just for me, but also for you all, but inspired by my life right now. So I'm taking way too much credit for this because she dreamed it up, and it's gorgeous, and she came up with the name, and I appreciate her so much. But when I saw it, I had to make something out of it. So this is called Bear Chasing, because we were talking about certain people being let loose deep in the woods and letting the bears chase them. And she said, ooh, I have thoughts about a colorway called Bear Chasing. And then she did it, and it looks so fantastic. And she dyed it for us as a sample.
Mm-hmm. But she dyed like several of each base.
Yeah, she dyed
two of each base.
I was getting there. But that's okay because I'm talking too much. She dyed 8 skeins for us on 3 different bases, total of 8 skeins. One base may already be gone between you and Marin. The tweed base is already gone, but don't worry. I've already placed an order for more. You just have to wait a couple weeks. This is the dragon base. I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up, but dragon base means it has sparkle. So you just have to come see it in person or look really, really closely at my pictures online. This is the 9-to-5 base, which is fingering weight, just straight up superwash merino and nylon would make a lovely pair of socks. What? No, I know. I'm thinking about what I want to say next.
Oh.
Which is dead air, which is not good. But I ordered it on the DK base too. I can't wait to see that because that is going to be gorgeous.
That'll be awesome.
Her wish base, her DK thickness base, just colors are like twice as vibrant on that base. It's really, really wonderful. So what is beautiful about this colorway, it's got the brown for a bear. I'm guessing why these colors are in here, but bless you. It's got brown. I'm just going to wait for her to finish because it's usually at least 3 or 4. That's 4. Are you done yet?
Yes.
Bless you. Okay.
Thank you.
So I just did want to talk over that. It's just, it's fine though. But there's brown in here, and there's more of a denim and a bright blue and maroon, but a more vibrant than maroon red, and then like forest greens and but just a hint of the actual base of the yarn in here too. So there's some lighter pops, and it's just, and oh, there's little bits of yellow. There's just so many colors in here, but it's so it's dark and broody, but it's not as dark and broody as You Almost Unearthly Thing, like, because there's the lighter patches, and it's just, she had fun. I think she said there were new dyes she wanted to experiment with, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. And so I then had to hunt for, what am I going to make with this? Because I need to make something. Again, this is all part of my therapy. I need to make something for this that I can hug and squeeze and wear. And I found some prettier patterns that, you know, have lighter, fun things going on in them. But I don't think this is super variegated yarn. And I realized that you might not see all of the detail in those patterns. So I came across Storm by Joji Locatelli. It's a one skein project, and it has super drop stitches. If you can see that in there, super drop stitches and some eyelets and a lot of garter and what wedges. So there's short rows. So that the eyelet rows kind of weave back and forth. So there's a lot of irregularity to this shawl. It's going to be a crescent shawl. But the whole bear chasing and weathering the storm right now, that is what has been happening, not shop related. It symbolically works for me.
I think it works for a lot of people.
The yarn works.
If you're going through a storm, there's bears to chase somebody or something.
You're weathering your own personal storm, and you can send the bears to chase the bad people. And this one might be a really great therapeutic shawl for anyone who's going through a difficult time in their life. It's just the idea of symbolically capturing. Someone was talking about that with me on Instagram, symbolically capturing your life in your knitting. And having almost a record. Like, most of us have a story about why we're working on a certain project, or what something means, or what was happening in their lives when they made something. And so I'm documenting my life right now in a way, and also making samples for the shop. So
it's really, really fun.
Those drop stitches right there, that is, you create those by wrapping the yarn on one row when you're knitting 4 times. I did a morning meditation where you get a little bit of a snippet of it a few days ago. You wrap the yarn 4 times around your needle for every stitch in this section. And then on the next row, you only knit the first loop and you drop the other 3. And trust me, it works. It's really cool. And then it's hard to see right now because I need longer needles, and the next size needles I go on to are not that much longer than this. But if you take a look over on this side, there's eyelet rows right under my needle, which are hard to see. They'll be part of the finished shawl. But the distance between the eyelets and the drop stitches over here is greater than the distance between the eyelets and the drop stitches over here. And that's done with short rows, with wrapping a stitch, like slipping, wrapping, slipping it back, just like with the Papillon. And because it's garter, she actually tells you not to pick up your wraps.
They hide.
When you knit, they hide. And she tells you that. I mean, the butterfly Papillon, some people pick them up and some people don't. And some people do German short rows. When I do the Papillon, I do a classic wrap and turn, and I don't pick it up because it hides. If you really throttle the stitch in the way that I like to do wraps and turns. So I am super excited with this. This was like, I took the yarn home and I said, okay, if I have the right size needles for this project I've picked out, I'm going to start. I found the right size needles at home. So I started. Now it's only 32 inches, and look, it's already full. So I need to transition to, and the longest fixed needles that we carry in the shop are 40. So at some point, this is going to be jammed on the needles, or if I show it off to y'all in a morning meditation, I'll put it on a stitch holder. I know I can make longer ones. What?
I was just going to throw this out there for people that are watching. You can do the entire shawl on a 32 inch. It will not affect anything. Mm-hmm. The reason Rebecca fusses about it is because when she does her morning meditations or she shows them off, she likes to have plenty of room.
And it's squished. Look, it's so squished.
If it's squished, It bothers her control freak mind. It's true.
It's true, but the words just kind of feel weird. Okay, so yes, what I like to say with flat knitting on a circular, if you longer is better, just so you have space, but you can super jam them on. Just like when you're doing things in the round on a circular, you want one that is a smaller circumference than what you're making. Like we sell the 16-inch needles, and people say that's too small when we sell it to them for a hat. And it's like, no, that doesn't,
right size.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to come out 16 inches. You jam tons of stitches on there. The next size, 24 inches, when the needles are crossed, it might be the right size for a hat, but it's going to be really hard and stretch out your stitches. And the hat might come out too big because you stretched it out. So anyway, this is the sparkly version of this wound up. We have, do we still have 2 skeins of this? Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
She originally dyed 4 skeins of the dragon, which is why I chose dragon. And then sparkly, yay. I like sparkle. So there's 3 skeins of this left. I have not put it up online. All of the new Daydream Dyeworks, I still have to work on getting up online, and we just have to see how busy we are today. So if you really, really want something that you're seeing on the show today and you don't see it online, call the shop or come by.
Unfortunately, we've been just busy enough. And I mean, it's unfortunately.
I meant to take pictures.
Fortunately.
I know. It's a good problem to have in the best sense of that. We kind of hate that phrase, but in the best sense of that. So I meant to take pictures on Saturday and then get them up over the weekend. And then by the end of the day, Saturday, we were just exhausted. So I didn't take pictures. I took pictures of bear chasing and said, I'll get this up over the weekend. And then we had the sit and stitch on Sunday. And then I had all the stuff to do on Monday. So brain power did not happen. We originally got 2 skeins of bear chasing in the tweed, and they're gone already. And we got 2 skeins of bear chasing in the 9 to 5. I'm not sure what we have left. We at least have 1 because I'm holding it in my hand right now. For variations on a theme, some of the new things that we have not had in the shop before. For variations on a theme, and Liz, I don't mean to be stealing your thunder. If you wanted to talk about any of these, let me know.
I bogarted what I needed.
She bogarted a bunch of zombie. You took all of the zombie shuffles.
I took
in tweed.
2. She did 2 of each base.
She does 2s.
And
usually.
I bought 2 of the tweed because tweed is mine.
So we've had zombie nibbles in before, and we have some of that back in. And that's nibbles with a B. And someone just sent us something, and maybe you can check the actual picture later. Zombie shuffles. Zombie shuffles has a lot of similarities to bear chasing in terms of the intensity of color. But there's more yellow. There's more of the neutral base showing through. And this has more purple, but it's got some of the same maroons and greens, but it's almost an olivey green. Like, look, okay.
Zombie nibbles.
Zombie nibbles, zombie shuffles. Zombie nibbles is much warmer than zombie shuffles.
It's browns and greens with the spatter red, and there's some oranges in there.
There's more oranges in the zombie nibbles. This has some colors of like Liz's zombie barbecue almost in it.
Yeah.
Probably unintentionally, but there's more of olivey greens in there. And it's just, and the denim blues and things. This is just really pretty, but it's got a lighter tone than the bear chasing. So we got zombie nibbles back in dragon and 9 to 5, I think. So some of these are sparkly. On the lighter end, we had a lot of dark and broody. So, and what I usually do when I place an order with Emerald is I say,
here's what we have.
Here's what we have. Knock yourself out with artist choice to maybe balance out the palette. And we had a lot of dark and broody, which might be, selling out since I told her we had it. So a lot of these are on the lighter end, but that means they're fun. And that means maybe next time we'll get more dark and broody or more vibrant. We'll see. This one, I think, was a new one for her too. Confetti. And it's got a lot of it's got some of the prom queen scream colors of like the shocking pink and a little bit of the teals, but it's also got some darker patches in here. I see some like dark purpley blues and greens, and oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. So confetti with sparkle on the dragon base, fantastic.
We also got back in Prom Queen Scream. I'm not sure
we
how
have
much
like
we
one left maybe.
Yeah.
And some sparkles. We already
Yeah.
sold one of the Prom Queen Scream. Look for that online. Wishing Well, I don't know if this is just new to us or new to her too, but this has some grays. It's a cream base, basically what shows up. It's got grays, it's got warm browns in it, it's got like that really intense orangey, like russet. It's a rust colored orange right there, right? Like burnt sienna.
If you took apart a wishing well,
an old wishing well.
An old wishing well, it's kind of that.
So it's a little rusty and it's a little stony, and oh, it's just so pretty. But lots of cream to it as well. There's it's a gentle variegated color.
And oddly enough, I do like it on the dragon base with the sparkle. Ooh, because it's a wishing well, so you know.
This is the way it should be photographed because you can see some more of those colors in there. Yes, wishing sparkle, yay. You can
make something with it. We do have it on straight 9 to 5. What?
I said you're gonna make something with it then because you like it. No, it's sparkles.
It sparkles.
So, and then we got in a few tonals. One is already gone. The Old Barn. We got Old Barn on a few bases, which is more of a tonal of hers, and we don't have that many tonals from her. But this one with a sparkly base was really cool. I don't know when we're gonna get these back in again because again, if I actually requested the colors that we love, I'd have to request everything. And so that's why I give her artist choice because I can't decide because it's all so pretty. If I started writing down the ones I wanted back in because they're selling fast, I'd have to make a list of everything. So this is Old Barn on tweed and it's just so pretty. And that's we might only have, might only have one of this too. Did you get one of those? Mm-hmm. She bought some yarn this week.
I got paid.
That's okay. I can't, I can't tell her not to buy things because I do need the shop to stay open.
Sometimes I wait and sometimes I don't.
You've been so patient for so long. I did not complain.
It was zombie yarn. I had to have it. Yeah. And then
things started going with it. And then, and you had to have some bear chasing because everybody who knows me needs to have some bear chasing. Yeah. Because bears need to chase certain people and they're probably not going to, and I'm going to get over that.
I try.
I can do it with yarn.
I try really hard. And yes, it comes and goes in spurts of not bogarting new yarn when it comes in, but
we've had at least one shopper who has requested a certain color. And if they don't mind waiting, we can add that to the next order. So if there's something you're just like, I must have it. If you are willing to prepay for it, we will put it in our next order and ship it to you or have it ready for pickup the next time she drops it off. But other than that, it is, you take your chances with what's coming in and get it while it's here.
That's kind of the fun of of the indie dyers is like, ooh, what are we getting in this next time? Ooh, what are my favorite ones that I don't have of that.
And who knows, we don't know what people are going to want. Like You Almost Unearthly thing, she dyed a bunch of it for this project, and people for this project, I say this and it's off screen, for this project for more kits because people really wanted this. And then people not seeing this kit went, ooh, and bought it. So
and there are days it's like we want the neon, we want the bright, we want the dark and broody, we want the
sometimes we ask for colors and then they sit on the shelf for a while because they're not what people are jonesing for, and we don't know, which is why we let artists choose what they think is going to be either fun for them to dye or do well in the shop. And I like to give them some freedom. Lately, like the next order coming in is mostly just Bite Me and bear chasing, because we need more of it. So it's a practical order, but we're also trying to stock up on DK colors. So that's going to be really pretty. So if fingering is not your jam, just wait. We will let you know when it comes in, and scarf it up, because oftentimes she only dyes 2 skeins at a time. So if you have a DK project in mind that is a 2 skein project, you're going to need to hop on that breakfast. You're going to need to hop on that real fast. Look at, this is me being real. Whee! Or if you want like a sweater quantity of a certain colorway in DK, we're going to have to make a special request for that. So contact the shop and prepay for it, and we'll get it to you as soon as she can dye it. So Anyway, we got to go. The shop needs to open soon. And I think I have a crocheter coming by for a lesson, and which will be fun, but we have to figure out where to do it because it's kind of gross out, which means coming in here and the shop's a hot mess.
So not a thing.
So not a thing.
I might actually get the hole plugged in the wall, maybe.
Boop. Or not. You know, it gives people something to focus on. I don't know. So really quickly, we have Sit and Stitch tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to come by and hang with us. I think most people who've been hanging with us have enjoyed it lately. So, you know, you get to see this live and in person, and maybe it's as entertaining. I have no idea. But other people can talk to you too. So, community, 6 to 9 p.m. shop phone number to join on Zoom.
828-877-3550.
Okay. And then tomorrow is the VSC. I have no idea what we'll be advertising, but today is your last chance to get Queensland United Foursome, Cascade Paradigm Shift, and the new Earth Tone Stitch Stoppers and Triangle Stitch Markers at 15% off. So grab those today. See what we talk about tomorrow. I have no idea what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And Thursday, Dear Becky and Lizzie. So send emails if you want us to talk about it this week too.
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
There you go. Or write us a cute little note or card and send it to Dear Becky and Lizzie, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. Friday will be another knit night, 6 to 9 p.m. again. The next Sunday afternoon virtual dual platform Sit and Stitch, in some order of those words, is going to be August 22nd, I believe. It's like the second to last Sunday in August, giving ourselves a little more time to recuperate and get ready. And thank you for everyone who joined us this weekend because it was fun. So anyway, and the shop's open on Saturdays now, so come by. Be ready to wait if we have too many people in the shop. Bring your mask or we can provide you with a paper one. Make an appointment if you want a guaranteed spot, but we're trying to be better about traffic flow and letting people in, but we are still asking for masks in the shop. Again, we can provide paper ones if you need them because life is just still not done with COVID yet. So regardless of vaccination status, because we had someone last week who kind of went, is it because you're not vaccinated? No, we're vaccinated and we're not judging vaccination or not. We would love for everyone to be vaccinated if they can, to maybe try to keep this all from spreading crazy because it's spreading crazy. But we're just treating everybody the same in the shop, and it protects everybody, vaccinated or unvaccinated, to wear a mask in the shop. So that's what we're asking y'all to do. So, and we can still help you find great yarn, and you can still get overwhelmed by how much stuff we have here. So
it is.
Yeah. Like I'm overwhelmed by how many orders I need to place because everyone's been finding such lovely yummies to take home with them. So eventually I will get it all figured out. And wow, the weather, I'm watching my face light up and get dark and light up and get dark because it's
the clouds.
It's gloomy outside.
It's drizzly.
Yeah. Okay. We're signing off. We love y'all. We miss you. Even those we haven't met yet. We hope you will be part of the community. Please consider subscribing. What are the things you say?
Like, subscribe, ring the bell.
That's all the free stuff.
All the fun.
That's all the free stuff you can do to support us. And if we hit 600 subscribers, we'll have a sale. We're inching in that direction, but the sale will only be for those of you who watch. So help us help you by subscribing if you haven't already, or tell other people about us in case they want to subscribe. If you'd like to actually help us with money, you can, buy from the shop, or you can head on over to Patreon and even sign up for as low as $3 a month to support the work that we do here to entertain ourselves and you, and to keep us all going. Anyway, that's the end of my shameless plugs that I kind of have to throw in there because life. So we love you. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. And
mohair.
I was like, she's really engrossed in that. So mohair. Bye.